Hey everyone, welcome back to Pop Culturally Challenged. My name is David. This is my beautiful wife, Toni.
Hello.
And tonight we're going to watch A Few Good Men. What do you know about this one?
Absolutely nothing. But
Nothing
the
at all?
title sounded good.
Okay. Do you don't know who's in it? Nothing like that? No, what it's about? Nothing?
No.
Okay. Good deal. All right. Well, that ends that. Okay. Well,
Okay, wait a minute. But is it scary? It can't be scary. It's A Few Good Men, right? That sounds like a positive title.
I don't know. I'm not going to tell you anything at all about it since you don't know anything about it. We'll go in completely blind and see what you think.
I think it'll be a good movie.
I don't know. No, I have seen this a long, long time ago. I only remember really the end of it. There's an iconic part to it, but that you probably have heard in pop culture, but I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you should know it when you hear it. So
Okay. Well, that sounds good.
Okay. Well, if you enjoyed this reaction, please give us a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're interested in seeing the full-length reaction to this and everything else that we've watched on the channel, we'll put the link to our Patreon down below. And on that note, on with the show.
Oh, is this another military movie?
Sort of.
I feel like we've watched a lot of military stuff.
Well, it's not like 1917 or Band of Brothers or anything like that.
Oh my god. Oh my god, what are they going to do with them?
I don't know.
Is that grass real? It looked a little fake.
I don't know. I'm guessing it's real.
Do you think that they've practiced that a whole bunch? Cause
Oh, yeah.
that's amazing.
Oh, yeah. The drill team.
That's impressive. Hey, what happened to their little blades? Didn't they have...
Guess they don't have them on when they're doing the twirling. That could be really dangerous.
I could imagine.
Captain, I appreciate you seeing me on such short notice.
Would you like to sit down?
I'm fine, sir.
Have a seat.
Okay. Two Marines, a Lance Corporal Harold Dawson and a Private Loudon Downey, entered the barracks room of a PFC William Santiago and assaulted him. Santiago died at the base hospital approximately an hour later.
Wow.
I was thinking it sounded an awful lot like a code red. Sir, I'd like to have them moved up to Washington and assigned counsel. In short, Captain, I'd like to suggest that I be the one that it be me who is assigned to represent them myself.
Smooth.
Lots of confidence.
Well, from what I understand from your colleagues, you're much too valuable in your present assignment to be wasted on what I'm sure will boil down to a 5-minute plea bargain and a week's worth of paperwork. I promise you, division will sign the right man for the job.
Daniel Caffey, I was told to meet with,
Oh my god, he's a mess.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Commander Galloway.
You're the attorney division assigned?
I'm lead counsel to Sam Weinberg.
Lieutenant, how long have you been in the Navy?
Going on 9 months now.
I see.
Have I done something wrong?
No.
He successfully plea bargained 44 cases in 9 months.
One more, I get a set of steak knives. Commander, from what I understand, if this thing goes to court, they won't need a lawyer, they'll need a priest.
One of the people we'll be seeing down there is the barracks CO, Colonel Nathan Jessup. I assume you've heard of him.
What a mess, look.
Yeah.
Expect to be appointed Director of Operations and National Security Council.
Really?
These are the letters that Santiago wrote in his 8 months at Gitmo. He wanted to be transferred off the base. No one was listening. Finally, he wrote to the Naval Investigative Service, where he offered information about Corporal Dawson's fence line shooting in exchange for a transfer.
Am I correct in assuming that these letters don't paint a flattering picture of Marine Corps life at Guantanamo Bay? 12 years.
I'm sorry?
I'll get them to drop the conspiracy and conduct unbecoming. 12 years.
You haven't talked to a witness or looked at a piece of paper.
Commander, do you have some sort of jurisdiction here that I should know about?
I'm special counsel for internal affairs, so my jurisdiction's pretty much in your face. You're dismissed.
I always forget that part.
I don't think that would really fly in the military.
Who the fuck is PFC William T. Santiago? And now he's telling tales about a fence line shooting. I want to know what we're going to do about this.
I think Santiago should be transferred off the base immediately.
I thought he was dead already.
This has taken place before, I guess.
Oh.
Maybe we have a responsibility as officers to train Santiago. Santiago stays where he is.
I think that's a mistake, Colonel.
Matthew, I think I will have that word in private with you now. We're in the business of saving lives, Matthew. That taking a Marine who is not quite up to the job and shipping him off to another assignment puts lives in danger. Don't ever question my orders in front of another officer.
His way or the highway.
I wanted to talk to you about Corporal Dawson and Private Downey.
Those names sound like they should mean something to me, but I'm...
Dawson, Downey, the client.
I couldn't work with that guy.
I don't think your client's murdered anyone.
The doctor's report says that Santiago died of asphyxiation brought on by acute lactic acidosis, and that the nature of the acidosis strongly suggests poisoning.
Santiago died at 1 a.m. 2 hours later, he said it was poison.
It had to be Professor Plum in the library with a candlestick.
You know what a code red is? What a pity.
Do you know what a code red is?
Yeah, but they'll tell you if you just keep watching.
Garden variety, typical. What's basic code red?
Sir, a Marine refuses to bathe on a regular basis. The men in his squad would give him a GI shower.
What's that?
Scrub brushes, Brillo pads, steel wool.
Oh.
Private Downey, the rag you stuffed in Santiago's mouth, was there poison on it?
No, sir. We were just going to shave his head, sir.
When all of a sudden...
We pulled the tape off and there was blood all down his face, sir. That's when Lance Corporal Dawson called the ambulance.
Were you there when the ambulance got there?
Yes, sir, that's when we were taken under arrest.
If Santiago didn't have anything on you, then why did you give him a code red?
Because he broke the chain of command, sir.
Did you assault Santiago with the intent of killing him?
No, sir.
What was your intent?
Train him to think of his unit before himself, to respect the code.
What's the code?
Unit, Corps, God, Country.
Family's not in there?
I would imagine your family's part of your core.
Yes.
Any luck getting me replaced? Joe, if you ever speak to a client of mine again without my permission, I have you disbarred.
I had authorization.
You got authorization from Aunt Jenny?
Very nice woman. We spoke for about an hour.
Does Aunt Jenny have a barn? We could hold the trial there. I can sew the costumes.
Okay.
The girl sat here, pointed, and said, Pa.
She was pointing at a mailbox, Sam.
Pointing as if to say, Pa, look, a mailbox.
Probably.
Danny, take the 12 years. It's a gift.
And I think they ought to go to jail for the rest of their lives.
Don't forget to wear the whites. Very hot down there. You got Dramamine?
Dramamine keeps you cool?
Dramamine keeps you from throwing up.
I get sick when I fly because I'm afraid of crashing into a large mountain.
I got some oregano. I hear that works pretty good. Lieutenant Caffey Weinberg, Commander Galloway. I'm Corporal Barnes. I'm to escort you to the windward side of the base.
Thank you.
We'll be riding pretty close to the fence line. Cubans see an officer wearing white. They think it might be someone they want to take a shot at.
Why didn't she wear the whites? Because she knew that?
I don't know.
Whoa, hold it. We got to take a boat? Is there a problem, sir? Just not that crazy about boats, that's all.
See, you're in the Navy for crying out loud.
Comes with the territory.
That is a good point. He's in the Navy.
Yeah.
How the hell is your dad, Danny?
He passed away 7 years ago, sir.
Don't I feel like the fucking asshole? Well, what can we do for you, Danny?
JAGCOR insists that we interview all the relevant witnesses.
John will take you out and show you what you want to see.
I told the men that we had an informer among us. Private Santiago was not to be harmed in any way.
What time is that meeting?
1600. 4 o'clock.
Oh.
Lieutenant Kendrick, may I call you John?
No, you may not.
Do you think Santiago was murdered?
Private Santiago is dead. He is dead because he had no honor, and God was watching.
Okay, then.
You called Lieutenant Colonel Markinson and Lieutenant Kendrick. What happened then?
We agreed that Santiago should be transferred off the base.
What?
5 hours too late, as it turned out.
All right, that's all I have.
I was just wondering if you've ever heard the term code red.
I've heard the term, yes. What is your point, Joe?
My point is that I think code reds still go on down here.
She outranks you, Danny. There is nothing on this earth sexier than a woman that you have to salute in the morning. If you haven't gotten a blowjob from a superior officer, well, you're just letting the best in life pass you by. You want to investigate me, roll the dice and take your chances. I eat breakfast 300 yards from 4,000 Cubans who are trained to kill me, so don't think for 1 second that you can come down here, flash a badge, and make me nervous.
Can we go now? Are you done?
Corporal will take you by personnel on your way out to the flight line, and you can have all the transfer orders that you want. You have to ask me nicely.
I beg your pardon?
You have to ask me nicely. What I do want. Send me some fucking courtesy. You gotta ask me nicely.
I didn't think he had asked rudely.
No, this guy's...
It's not too much trouble. I'd like a copy of the transfer order, sir.
He's just got an
No
ego.
problem.
He doesn't like to be questioned.
I'm sure that made his little hairs on his neck stand up.
Yeah.
Is he reading the file finally?
Looks like he's watching baseball.
Did Lieutenant Kendrick order you guys to give Santiago a code red?
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Kendrick says that he gave strict instructions that nothing was to happen to Santiago.
Lieutenant Kendrick came to our room, ma'am. Lieutenant Kendrick ordered us to give Santiago a code red.
That's the younger guy, right?
Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland.
How long have you known about the order?
I didn't. Kendrick specifically told those men not to touch Santiago.
That's right.
I'll knock it all down to involuntary manslaughter, 2 years or home in 6 months.
No deal, we're going to court.
Danny knows it in a courtroom. He loses this case. That's the end of this negotiation.
Wow. Plays hardball, didn't he?
Do it, Harold. 6 months. It's nothing. It's a hockey season. After 6 months, we'll be dishonorably discharged, right, sir?
You think?
You don't like me very much, do you? Forget it, don't ask.
Pretty obvious.
Are you really going to let this happen to him because of a code, Harold? Do you think we were right? I think you'd lose. I can't believe they let you wear a uniform. I'm not going to feel responsible for this, Harold. I did everything I could. You're going to Leavenworth. What happened to saluting an officer when he leaves the room?
He's not an officer.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Austin's going to go to jail just to spite me. I want to get him a new lawyer. How do I do it?
Just make a motion tomorrow morning at the arraignment.
One thing, though. When you ask the judge for new counsel, Danny, be sure and ask nicely. Another lawyer won't be good enough. You know how to win. You walk away from this now, you've sealed their fate.
When did she become the cheerleader?
I don't know.
Don't tell me what I know and don't know. I know the law.
You're a used car salesman, Daniel. You're nothing. So with that.
Dang. Yeah, she suddenly became like his biggest fan, like out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
All rise.
The accused are charged with murder and conduct unbecoming a United States Marine.
Does defense wish to enter a plea?
They're not guilty.
We'll adjourn until 1000, 3 weeks from today, at which time this general court-martial will reconvene.
Did he say 110 days?
No, 3 weeks.
Oh.
1,000 hours. 10 o'clock in the morning.
Why does a lieutenant junior grade with 9 months experience and a track record for plea bargaining get assigned a murder case? Would it be so that it never sees the inside of a courtroom?
That's why they gave it to him. They knew he would just plea bargain.
Were you able to speak to your friend at the NIS?
Said if Markinson doesn't want to be found, we're not going to find him.
You said I could be Markinson and you wouldn't know it.
Are you?
I'm not Markinson. What?
Are those yahoos?
Yeah. Yoo-hoos.
Yoo-hoos?
I don't know what made Santiago die. I don't want to know. I just want to be able to show it could have been something other than poison. Doctor, was there any sign of violence?
You mean other than the dead body?
Walking at every goddamn time.
Danny,
I know what you're going to say. You like me? I won't make you say it.
I was just going to tell you to wear matching socks tomorrow. We're ready.
Better believe it.
Is this the only movie they ever worked together?
I don't know.
Danny, I'd like you to meet Jenny Miller, Loudon Band.
Your Aunt Jenny?
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. I was expecting someone over.
So was I.
Good comeback.
Is the government prepared to make an opening statement?
Yes. Accused entered the barracks room of their platoon mate and forced a rag into his throat. He drowned in his own blood and was pronounced dead at 37 minutes past midnight. The government will also demonstrate that the accused soaked the rag in poison.
Where did the rag come from?
I don't know.
When Dawson and Downey went into Santiago's room that night, it wasn't because of vengeance or hatred. It's because it was what they were ordered to do. But if you're a Marine, and you're given an order, you follow it or you pack your bags.
Is the government ready to call its first witness?
Private Santiago betrayed a code we believe in very deeply, sir.
Did Lieutenant Kendrick leave a standing order at that meeting?
Sir, he said Santiago wasn't to be touched.
Your witness.
Corporal Hammaker, are you in Dawson and Downey's barracks room 5 minutes after this meeting?
No, sir.
I have no more questions.
Have you ever done that?
No.
Dr. Stone, what is lactic acidosis?
If the muscles and other cells of the body burn sugar instead of oxygen, lactic acid is produced.
And what caused this process to be sped up in Santiago's muscle?
An ingested poison of some kind.
Now, you're aware that the lab report and the coroner's report show no traces of poison. Then how do you justify...
There are literally dozens of toxins which are virtually undetectable.
Commander, is it possible for a person to have an affliction which might also speed up the process of acidosis? What might some of those conditions be?
If a person had a coronary disorder or cerebral disorder, the process would be more rapid. It would have to be a very serious condition.
It's possible to have a serious coronary condition where the initial warning signals were so mild as to escape a physician during a routine medical exam?
Oh, Marie passed out.
Would still be symptoms, though. There are hundreds of...
Chest pains?
Yes.
Shortness of breath?
Yes.
Fatigue?
Marie was falling down training.
Would you read your handwritten remarks at the bottom of the page, please, sir?
Patient complains of chest pains, shortness of breath, and fatigue.
Commander, isn't it possible that Santiago had a serious coronary condition, and it was that condition and not some mysterious poison that caused the accelerated chemical reaction?
Oh, we got him. No.
Oh.
I personally give each man a thorough physical examination.
That's why it had to be poison, right, Commander? You'd have a lot to answer for, wouldn't you, Doctor?
Oh.
Your Honor, the defense strenuously objects and requests an 802 conference.
What does that mean?
Was Willie Santiago poisoned?
Yes.
Liar.
We'll stand in recess until 10:00, Monday the 19th, at which time the defense will call its first witness.
He's going to be mad at her, isn't he?
Yeah.
I strenuously object. Is that how it works?
That's not how it works.
She made a mistake. It's not reliving.
I expected him to be more upset.
I'm sorry to bother you. I should have called first.
What?
This is awkward.
I was wondering how you'd feel about my taking you to dinner tonight.
Are you asking me out on a date?
Do you like seafood? I know a good seafood place. My third case was a drunken disorderly. It lasted 9 weeks.
Well, what was the prosecutor offering?
15 days.
You sure hustled the shit out of him.
So it got to be a trial for 63.
I think you're an exceptional lawyer.
I think you should prepare yourself for the fact that we're going to lose. Corporal Barnes, name some reasons why a Marine would receive a code red.
Keeping his barracks in disorder, falling back on a run.
Was Private Santiago ever late for platoon meetings?
Yes, sir.
Was his barracks ever in disorder?
Yes, sir.
Did he ever, prior to the night of September 6th, receive a code red?
No, sir.
Why?
The guys talked tough about Santiago, but they wouldn't go near him. They were too afraid of Dawson, sir.
I hold here the Marine outline for recruit training. Have you read it?
Yes, sir.
Good. Would you turn to the chapter that deals with code reds, please?
Well, you see, sir, code red is a term that we use.
Is there no book that lets me know that as a Marine, one of my duties is to perform code reds?
No, sir.
No further questions?
He takes it.
How did you know where the mess hall was if it's not in this book?
Well, I guess I just followed the crowd at chow time, sir.
Got him good there. Even he knows it. Like, here's your book back.
Oh my
shit.
God.
That's the guy they're looking for.
You left the door unlocked.
Scared the shit out of me.
Just keep driving.
What do you know?
I know everything.
Was it a code red?
Yes.
Did Kendrick give the order?
Yes. He was never going to be transferred off that base.
You got the transfer order. It's got your signature.
I signed him the morning you arrived in Cuba, 5 days after Santiago died.
Oh.
Markinson says there was a plane that left 7 hours early.
Sam, when a flight takes off, there's got to be some kind of record kept, right?
Yeah, you need the tower chief's log.
Get it. You just concentrate on Downey. I'm going to talk to Ross and tell him where we are.
Nice work today.
Why would he tell him what he knows now?
I'm trying to get him to offer a deal.
If you accuse Kendrick or Jessup of any crime without proper evidence, you're going to be subject to a court-martial. I'm your friend, and I'm telling you, I don't think your clients belong in jail, but I don't get to make that decision. Now, I want you to acknowledge that the judge advocate has made you aware of the possible consequences involved in accusing a Marine officer of a felony without proper evidence.
I've been so advised.
You got bullied into that courtroom by the memory of a dead lawyer.
Oh.
His father?
Yep.
You're a lousy fucking softball player, Jack!
Lieutenant Kendrick, in your opinion, was Private Santiago a good Marine?
I'd say he was about average.
Lieutenant, you signed 3 proficiency and conduct reports on Santiago. On all 3 reports, you indicated a rating of below average.
I did not see the need to trample on a man's grave.
You recall an incident involving a PSC Curtis Bell who'd been found stealing liquor from the officers' club?
Yes, I do.
Did you report Private Bell to proper authorities?
The only proper authorities I am aware of are my commanding officer, Colonel Nathan R. Jessup, and the Lord our God.
At your request, Lieutenant Kendrick, I can have the record reflect your lack of acknowledgement of this court as a proper authority. You prefer to be handled within the unit.
Yes, I most certainly did.
Have you ever ordered a code red?
No, I have not.
Lieutenant, did you order Dawson and 2 other men to make sure that Private Bell received no food or drink except water? You did order the denial of food.
Yes, I did.
Wouldn't this form of discipline be considered code red? Lieutenant Kendrick, was Dawson given a rating of below average because you learned he'd been sneaking food to Private Bell?
Object!
Not so fast.
Lance Corporal Dawson was given a below-average rating because he had committed a crime.
Dawson brought a hungry guy some food. What crime did he commit?
Lance Corporal Dawson disobeyed an order.
Can Dawson determine on his own which orders he's going to follow?
No, he cannot.
If you had ordered Dawson to give Santiago a code red,
I specifically ordered those men
is it reasonable to think he would have disobeyed you again?
Did you order Lance Corporal Dawson and Private Downey to give Willie Santiago a code red?
Lieutenant Kendrick, did you?
No, I did not.
What's the word?
Need to get one of those.
6 a.m. flight was the first plane out.
Working late tonight, Lieutenant?
Where's the flight at 11 o'clock? What the fuck are you trying to pull?
Jessup.
What are you telling me? He fixed the logbook? Well, maybe he can make it so a plane didn't take off, but I can sure as hell prove that one landed.
Yeah.
And why did you give him a code red?
I was ordered to give him a code red.
You're gonna do fine.
You think they'll let us go back to our platoon soon, ma'am?
Absolutely.
He thinks he's going to go back? Does he not understand how serious this is?
Dear Mr. and Mrs. Santiago, I was William's executive officer. In a matter of time, the trial of the 2 men charged with your son's death will be concluded. For my part, I've done as much as I can to bring the truth to light. Your son is dead for only one reason. I wasn't strong enough to stop it. Always, Lieutenant Colonel Matthew Andrew Markinson.
Oh no, he's gonna kill himself. No, 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 no!
Code red was ordered by my platoon commander, Lieutenant Jonathan James Kendrick.
The week of 2 September, the switch log has you down at post 39 until 1600. Is that correct?
I'm sure it is, sir. They keep that log pretty good.
How far is it from post 39 to the Windward Barracks?
About 10-15 minutes, sir.
You ever had to walk it?
Yes, sir. That day, sir.
10 or 15 minutes by jeep. I'm guessing it must be a good hour by foot. Am I right?
Pickup and me did it in 45 flat, sir.
Now, you've said that your assault on Private Santiago was a result of an order that Lieutenant Kendrick gave you in your barracks room at 1620. Am I right?
Oh, there's no way he was there.
But you just said that you didn't make it back to the Windward Barracks until 1645. How could you be in your room at 1620? Did you ever actually hear Lieutenant Kendrick order a code red?
No, sir.
Did Lance Corporal Dawson tell you to give Santiago a code red?
How? Private, answer the captain's question.
Yes, Captain. I was given an order by my squad leader, and I followed it.
So he didn't get the order from the other guy.
No, he got it from his roommate or the guy who's on trial with him.
Danny, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. Maybe if we work at it, we could get Dawson charged with the Kennedy assassination. Downey wasn't in his room. That was an important piece of information, don't you think?
Danny, it was a setback, and I'm sorry.
It's a huge setback.
Markinson's dead. Anyway, since we seem to be out of witnesses, I thought I'd drink a little.
Out of witnesses.
You're going to use what happened today as an excuse to give up. Now, damn it, let's put Jessup on the stand and end this thing.
What possible good could come from putting Jessup on the stand?
He told Kendrick to order the code red.
Why didn't you say so? And of course, you have proof of that.
You put him on the stand and you get it from him.
No problem.
Good idea.
What do we have for the losers, Judge? It's a court-martial, yes! Or should we not follow the advice of the galactically stupid?
Well, that went well.
I'm sorry I lost your set of steak knives.
Is your father proud of you?
Don't do this to yourself. And if I were Dawson and Downey and I had a choice between you or your father, I'd choose you any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Joanne, please get in the car.
You drunk?
I'm gonna put Jessup on the stand.
I was so close to not crying.
Yeah, you almost made it. That close.
To win, Jessup needs to tell the court members that he ordered the code red.
And now you think you can get him to just say it?
I think he wants to say that he made a command decision and that's the end of it. He eats breakfast 300 yards away from 4,000 Cubans that are trying to kill him. I need to shake him, put him on the defensive, and meet him right where he's dying to go.
That's it? That's the plan?
What is that?
Looks like a call log, date and time of a call.
When you're out there today, you feel like he's not going to say it. Don't go for it. You could get in trouble.
You're not suggesting that I back off a material witness.
If you think you can't get him, yeah.
Defense calls Colonel Nathan Jessup.
Yeah, this grand entrance. Why don't they play trumpets or something for him?
Colonel, when you learned of Santiago's letter, you had a meeting, is that right?
Yes, I ordered Markinson to have Santiago transferred off the base immediately.
Why?
I felt his life might be in danger.
Grave danger?
Is there another kind?
Colonel, we have the transfer order. Was that the first flight off the base?
The 0600 was the first flight off the base.
Sure about that?
Colonel, you flew up to Washington early this morning, is that right? Did you wear that uniform on the plane?
I wore utilities on the plane.
You brought your dress uniform with you. Toothbrush, shaving kit, change of underwear.
You better get somewhere fast with this, Lieutenant.
I brought a change of clothes and some personal items.
I'm wondering where Santiago was packed. Your Honor, these are the telephone records from Diplo, and these are 14 letters that Santiago wrote requesting, in fact begging for a transfer. Upon hearing the news that he was finally getting his transfer, do you know how many people he called? 0. Not one call to his parents saying he was coming home. He was asleep in his bed at midnight, and according to you, he was getting on a plane in 6 hours. Yet everything he owned was hanging neatly in his closet. You were leaving for one day. You packed a bag and made 3 phone calls. Santiago was leaving for the rest of his life, and he hadn't called a soul, and he hadn't packed a thing. Can you explain that? The fact is, there was no transfer order. Santiago wasn't going anywhere.
Objection, Your Honor. It's my recommendation, sir, that Lieutenant Caffey be reprimanded for his conduct and the witness be excused with the court's deepest apology.
Overruled.
Maybe he was an early riser and liked to pack in the morning. And maybe he didn't have any friends. What I do know is that he was set to leave the base at 0600. Please tell me that you have something more, Lieutenant. These 2 Marines are on trial for their lives. Please tell me that their lawyer hasn't pinned their hopes to a phone bill. Do you have any other questions for me, Counselor?
Who are these 2 guys?
I don't know.
Lieutenant, do you have anything further for this witness?
Thanks, Danny. I love Washington.
I didn't dismiss you. I'm not through with my examination. Sit down.
I'd appreciate if he would address me as Colonel or Sir. I believe I've earned it.
Defense counsel will address the witness as Colonel or Sir.
He's shaking.
What kind of unit you're running here?
And the witness will address this court as Judge or Your Honor. Quite certain I've earned it.
Oh! Sit your ass down.
Colonel, the 6 a.m. flight was the first one off the base? There wasn't a flight that left 7 hours earlier and landed at Andrews Air Force Base at 2 a.m. Your Honor, these are the Tower Chief's logs for both Guantanamo Bay and Andrews Air Force Base.
I don't understand. You're admitting evidence of a flight that never existed.
Defense will be calling Airman Cecil O'Malley and Airman Anthony Rodriguez. They were working the ground crew at Andrews at 2 a.m. on the 7th.
This is ridiculous. Check the tower logs, for Christ's sake.
Well, we'll get to the airmen in just a minute, sir. A moment ago, you said that you ordered Lieutenant Kendrick to tell his men that Santiago wasn't to be touched. Any chance Lieutenant Kendrick ignored the order?
No.
Well, Lieutenant Kendrick spoke to the platoon and ordered them not to touch Santiago. Any chance they ignored him?
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
Crystal. If you gave an order, and your orders are always followed, then why would Santiago be in danger? Why would it be necessary to transfer him off the base? You said he was being transferred because he was in grave danger. I said, grave danger? You said, is there
I
any
recall
other...
what I said. I know what I said. I don't have to have it read back to me like I'm...
Why did 2 orders?
Sometimes men take matters into their own hands. You snotty little bastard.
Lieutenant Kendrick ordered the code red, didn't he? Because that's what you told Lieutenant Kendrick to do.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red? You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago and you curse the Marines. You have the luxury of not knowing what I know. That Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives. You don't want the truth because you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom that I provide. I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
You ordered the code red.
Did you order the code red? You're goddamn right I did!
He doesn't even believe it. He's like,
Captain Ross.
You sure?
Colonel, what's going on? I did my job. I do it again.
You're not going anywhere, Colonel. MP's guard the Colonel.
What the hell is this?
Colonel Jessup, you have the right to remain silent. Straight up.
I'm being charged with a crime? I'm gonna rip the eyes out of your head and piss in your dead skull!
You understand these rights as I've just read them to you?
You have no idea how to defend a nation. All you did was weaken a country today, Cappy. Sweet dreams, son.
Don't call me son. I'm a lawyer and an officer in the United States Navy. And you're under arrest, you son of a bitch.
You did it.
Yep.
All right. Have the members reached a verdict?
We have, sir.
On the charge of murder, the members find the accused not guilty. On the charge of conspiracy to commit murder, the members find the accused not guilty. On the charge of conduct unbecoming a United States Marine, the members find the accused guilty as charged.
They were just following orders.
And you are ordered to be dishonorably discharged from the Marine Corps. Court-martial is adjourned. All rise.
So they've already served time?
Yeah, that's it.
But they're still dishonorably discharged.
Yeah, because conduct unbecoming.
I don't understand. Colonel Jessup said he ordered the code red. What did we do wrong?
He was supposed to fight for people who couldn't fight for themselves. He was supposed to fight for Willie.
Lieutenant Coffee, I have to take these men over to personnel for some paperwork.
Harold? Sir? You don't need to wear a patch in your arm to have honor.
Ted Hutt!
There's an officer on deck.
Chairman Cecil O'Malley and Anthony Rodriguez, what exactly were these guys going to testify to?
And they're both going to testify under oath that they had absolutely no recollection of anything.
I gotta go arrest Kendrick. Tell him I say hi.
Will do.
Absolutely nothing. You almost made it through the movie without crying. Almost. You were that close.
That's terrible. I was so excited.
Okay, so that was A Few Good Men. What did you think?
That was a great movie. That really, truly was a great movie.
And you got that close to not crying.
I was so excited because I could see the end and I wasn't going to cry. And
I didn't remember any scenes that I thought you would cry at, so I thought, okay, this is a safe one. You know, this will be a happy one for her. But
I was so close.
So did you pick up on the big pop culture moments, like at the end?
I feel like it was at the very end where he was yelling at him.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard that before.
Yeah. The whole, I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Yeah. I've heard that in other movies, TV shows. I mean, it's all over.
Yeah.
But, and you'll hear people, give like impressions of Jack Nicholson. I eat breakfast 300 feet away from. I can't do his voice, but you'll hear stuff like that. But yeah, I thought it was a really smart story. I mean, it was well put together. Up to the end, you're pretty much guessing what's going to happen.
Sure. I'm amazed at how Tom Cruise has aged so well.
I don't know how he's done it either. I mean, that was 31 years ago.
Yeah, and I don't think that he's had any plastic surgery or anything. He's got some amazing genes or something. I mean, he is...
I don't know.
It's strange to me.
I'm going to start following his diet from this. Yoo-hoo and Cocoa Puffs with some Jack Daniels. I'm going to live forever.
Play some baseball too.
Yeah, walk around with a bat and play some basketball in the house on a little hoop. Yeah, I'll be set. So, did you have a favorite part of the movie?
No, it was all good.
Okay. I always liked the end part because that whole showdown with him and Jessup is like so epic. Yeah, I love the part where he's drinking water before he goes for it. It's like,
he was shaking.
Yeah, his hands are shaking. He's like, "Oh God, I'm gonna go to jail for this."
And I noticed like he got flushed, like he was so mad his face was red.
Yeah,
I feel like I get like that too sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a great movie. I really enjoyed it.
Cool. All right. Well, maybe we can get in a true, just full-on comedy that you won't cry at.
That would be nice.
Okay.
I just saw the thingamajig that says down there, Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. That looks funny.
Yeah, no, we're not going to watch that for the channel.
No?
No.
That looks like fun.
No, we're not going to watch that. That's just a DVD that we have laying around. So no, sorry. We got some other movies, but yeah, we'll find something else to watch.
It was good.
Okay. So if you guys enjoyed this reaction, give us a thumbs up, please. Like, comment, subscribe,
share,
all that good stuff. Share the video out with your friends. If you didn't like the video and you're still here, well, share it out with somebody you don't like. It'll really drive them crazy. So anyway, all right. Well, if you want to see the full length reaction to this and everything else that we've reacted to, we'll put the link to our Patreon down below, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.